Oh my God, I found so much deodorant. But I have to babysit my nephew today for a really long time. And I don't have any baby stuff, obviously. So I have to go to Target and get some stuff. I have to get like a pack and play, like baby food, other baby things. But yeah, let's go to Target. Do I have food in my teeth? Okay, y'all, for the past few months, I have been getting so many questions in my Instagram DMs about project management. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not a project management expert. How can I give these people the answers to the questions they have? But it's like, even though I'm not an expert, I still have an experience that I'm happy to share. So I'm gonna answer some of the questions I've received on my Instagram about project management. Okay, like a lot of these are repetitive, so I'm just gonna pick maybe 5, but here we go. How did you become a project manager? Great first question to choose. Let's start from the beginning. So I honestly do not know the path of becoming a project manager because I started in a project management development program. So that was my path. I had a direct line to project management. I didn't start off in another position and transfer to be a project manager. I started off my professional journey as a project manager. So I work for a company in Atlanta that has a project management development program for recent graduates. We were trained for about 3 to 4 months on project management fundamentals. We learn literally everything you need to know to be a successful project manager. And then after those 3 to 4 months of training, we are thrown out into the world and we are on rotation. So I was able to support 4 different rotations over the span of almost 2 years. So I started off in change management. So now I have experience with change management. Then I moved over to technology. So I have cybersecurity experience. And then I had another technology project that was more about cloud analytics. And then my last rotation was in video product. So cable. So yeah, that's how I got started. All right, the next question is, how has COVID-19 pandemic affected your work? Is the routine at home much different from the one in the office? Y'all, I love working from home. If I could never go back to the office, I would. I'm so much more productive. Before I moved from total work at home, it used to take me upwards of 2 hours to get to work and back sometimes. Project management is something that you can do virtually. It's better to be in person, obviously, to make those physical connections, but at the same time, this is a very social role. You can still connect with people through virtual settings. So the biggest change was that I went from in office and working from home. And the part that kind of sucks about that is when you're a project manager, you're using a lot of your time chasing down information, chasing down dates, milestones, risk issues, things of that nature. And let's say I need to submit something by 4 o'clock and it's 2, and this person that I need to get this information from, I know that they'll be leaving this meeting somehow, stalkingly. I can go to the conference room that meeting is gonna, my dogs always interrupt my videos. But I can go to that conference room where that person's leaving and I can walk with them on the way to their next meeting and get that information. That's what I'm talking about, the physical connection. You can ping people now or send them IMs. but it's not guaranteed it's going to be answered. But if you're walking with this person to their next meeting, you're probably going to get an answer. The next question is, who do you interact with? Do you work directly with clients, or is that the job of program managers? So as a project manager, you work with literally every single person who's on your project team. The product owner or program manager, you'll work with someone on the engineering team. You'll work with a software developer. You literally work with everyone because you're gonna need some sort of information from them to move the project forward. Let me give you an example. One of my technology projects as a project manager was in cybersecurity, like I mentioned earlier, and we were developing a software. So I'd work with the product owner to get the requirements, what he wanted out of that software. And then I would work daily, like in the trenches with the developers, answering their questions to the best of my ability, because I don't know how to code, and just making sure that we're on track in terms of what they're producing is in line with what the product owner expected. Things like that. Okay, one other question is, do you choose who will be on your team? If so, what are the requirements? Will the team members change from project to project? No, you don't get to choose who's on your team. Like, don't think of this as an NBA draft. You get assigned a project and you're like, oh, I want to work with this person, and I draft that person. No, when you are assigned to a project as a project manager, the team is already defined in a way. You can maybe request additional support from other members, but you don't directly choose who works on your project for the most part. Will team members change from project to project? For sure. Like I said, I had 4 rotations, and it mimics what a project manager outside of a rotational program would do. You're assigned by your manager or your department to a specific project, and once that project ends or they no longer need your support, you'll roll on to another project that has totally different team members and maybe in a totally different space. Like I mentioned, I started off with change management, ended with video. But there are times where I have worked with someone that I used to work with on another team, especially when I started off in change management. So change management is the process of preparing a group for an organizational change or maybe a technological change management. Within my projects, if we're releasing something new, you're gonna need the support of change management to prepare your team for what's to come, what's different, what's that gonna look like, how's that gonna affect you, things like that. So I have worked with other team members and it's always fun to see them. So it can intermingle. Ooh, this is a good one. What characteristics and hard skills do you think is fit for this line of work? You need to be organized. You need to be well-spoken. You need to be able to communicate well through email and in person. You need to be able to negotiate. Oh gosh, you have to negotiate. Let's say you need something done by this Friday and you ask the team member, hey, when will you get this done? Actually, no, that's not even how I learned early on, that's not how you approach the situation. Instead of saying, when will you get this done? You say, can you have this done by this date? Negotiating someone's time. Ooh, what else? Delegating, you need to be able to delegate very well. And I would say the last one I have is the ability to be able to prioritize. I remember in my actual interview to become a project manager in that development program, we were given a list of tasks and we had to prioritize those tasks in order of importance and explain why. And at the moment when I was, doing that, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of see why this is important, but it turned into something I do daily, or I did daily. I'm no longer a project manager, but it's something I did daily. So super important. Another question I got says, can you advise me on any beginner courses on project management? A lot of the material that supported me in becoming a project manager came from the training I took, but I will say, I was so nervous when I first got that role. I would come home and just do additional research. So I would literally go on YouTube and I just typed in fundamentals of project management. I think the biggest thing about project management and becoming successful there is learning soft skills. You can do that through reading books. There are free classes online, I'm sure. You can go to Udemy. You can really just Google is free. Okay, someone asked some questions about being a scrum master. Okay, so to add a little context, I became a scrum master because I got put on a technology project and I just read online that if you're building software, or doing anything where you're building something, you more than likely need to become a Scrum Master. So I got my Scrum Master certification from Georgia Tech, paid for by my company, thank God, because it was really expensive. And that really helped me lead the team. I was able to learn how to coach the team. I was able to learn how to truly connect with the team. So I definitely suggest, if you are put on a project that requires you to build something from the ground up, or even just maybe redesign something, or anything technology focused, I think you need to get your Scrum Master certificate, period. And then that same person asked, are you supervising a group of employees? Pretty much, yeah. Like, you are coaching a group of people to the finish line. So when I used my Scrum Master certificate within one of my rotations, I was working with a team who was developing a new software for the company, and we would have daily stand-ups so we can figure out where we are at that moment, what we did yesterday and what we plan on doing today. We talk about roadblocks, risk or issues, and how to get over those. And I think that's a way to bring the team together, because the team was offshore, so we didn't really connect. Like, there was no connection, or I would say like I don't know what to call it. There was like not a communicative connection other than talking about work. Like, usually when you join a meeting, it's like, oh, hey, what'd you do this weekend? None of that on my offshore meetings, because I don't know, like everyone was just quiet and awkward. So when we got to learn, what we could do better and what's blocking us, that just kind of opened up this field of vulnerability from both sides, and we were able to connect and push each other. We felt more comfortable calling out mistakes. We felt more comfortable sharing that we need help. So yeah, being a Scrum Master is actually pretty cool and pretty deep. What did it take to get your Scrum Master certificate? I had a few days of classes, and then I took a test, which was online. I don't know if that's the case only because it was COVID, but that was my process. A few days of classes and then one test. Should I join PMI? PMI is the Project Management Institute. Yeah, join it, because there'll be local meetups in your city. Maybe when COVID dies down a lot more, you can go meet other project managers and connect with them. They send you great tips through email. That's also another way you can learn more about project management. I think even if you're not a project manager and you're interested in that field, you can still join the Project Management Institute, I think. Don't quote me. Okay, I think this is gonna be the last one because I have to get back to work actually, but how do you deal with stress? Ooh, I take a nap. Honestly, I take a nap. Well, before I take a nap, I have to write down all of my responsibilities. That's another thing I do. I'm just very organized. I have a to-do list of all of my responsibilities for that day. That way I don't have to think about it. I already know what I have to do. Just staying organized eliminates a lot of the stress that you would have. Staying organized, self-care for me is taking a nap when I can. And I think deep down I understand that this is just work. If I make a mistake, it's gonna happen. Understand you are gonna make mistakes. Sometimes you're gonna mess up, and I know that's gonna happen. The more and more you do this, the less it's gonna happen, but it's something, I guess it's in my brain now. I understand. So there's no need to stress. This is just work. I'm still Simone. I still have my own life outside of this job, and I'm a human. I'm gonna make mistakes. And I understand sometimes I'm gonna work from like 9 a.m. to 3. Sometimes I'm gonna work from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it's just an understood thing. So it eliminates like the surprise and the stress that comes with having a job. If you understand the bottom line, like, this is a job. I'm going to be stressed sometimes. If you just accept that, I think it kind of, at least for me, that's what eliminates stress, and that's how I handle it. Woo, okay, that was actually pretty fun. Send me more questions on my Instagram if you want to ask more things. But thank you so much for watching this vlog this week. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Why don't you comment some more project management questions or really anything you want? I'm here to chat. Okay, bye.